Russia has condemned what they called an attack on their embassy in Dublin after a man reversed a truck through the gates. They say it's a breach of the Geneva Convention on Diplomatic Relations. Now, usually when someone quotes the Geneva Convention at you, they're hoping to sound smart and to win the argument. If there's one thing I've learned from working with Pat Kenny, you're never smarter than him and you almost never win the argument. Here's what he had to say to Yuri Filatov, the ambassador.
We cannot condone criminal damage to any embassy in Dublin. That includes the Russian embassy. However, do we really have to listen to the embassy complaining about contraventions of the Geneva Convention on Diplomacy? I wish Ambassador Yuri Filatov would instead turn his attentions to other elements of the Geneva Conventions. For example, Articles 76 and 77, Article 15 and 79 of the Fourth Geneva Convention provide special protections for women, children and civilian medical personnel and provide measures of protection for journalists. That's a Russian joke in Ukraine. And I wonder, does the ambassador, as he's complaining about his own minor difficulties, have no feeling for the men and women being terrorised by his country in his name? And if the ambassador wants to look at the Rome Statute of the International Court, he might have a word with his boss, because that statute tells us that a war crime means grave breaches of the Geneva Conventions of the 12th of August 1949, namely any of the following acts against persons or property protected under the provisions of the relevant Geneva Convention. And I'll only name some of them. Willful killing. Has Russia done this in Ukraine? Yes. Willfully causing great suffering or serious injury to body and health. Has Russia done this in Ukraine? Yes. Extensive destruction and appropriation of property not justified by military necessity and carried out unlawfully and wantonly. Has Russia done this? Yes. Intentionally directing attacks against the civilian population as such or against individual civilians not taking direct part in hostilities. Has Russia done this? Yes. Intentionally directing attacks against civilian objects, that is, objects which are not military objectives. Has Russia done this? Yes. Attacking or bombarding by whatever means towns, villages, dwellings or buildings which are undefended and which are not military objectives. Has Russia done this? Yes. Intentionally using starvation of civilians as a method of warfare by depriving them of objects indispensable to their survival, including willfully impeding relief supplies as provided for under the Geneva Conventions. Has Russia done this? Certainly yes, in Mariupol. Now, the ambassador would no doubt come on and deny that Russia is doing this, but who could believe him anyway? He's a proven liar. He lied on this programme. So, the message to the ambassador is give us a break and cut the whining.